Hi, this is Brad Foreman, and I'm heading out for peak number 5 over in Indonesia, the island of Papua. It should be exciting. This is Carstens, and we're very excited about this climb. We've been preparing quite a bit for this trip. The last month up in Colorado, we did a body cleanse, and we are still in shape from that monster right there, which was just a couple months ago when we summited Denali. So we're going with a new strategy. Since we successfully made it up to Denali in late spring, we're gonna try and knock off number 5 while I'm still in good shape and health. So we have all of our preparation here. Let's start out, well, I already started out, you saw the hat I was wearing, that's my hat. This will be the summit flag along with my equipment source, Active Endeavors. These guys are the best and have really helped me get prepared for this unique climb. Carstens is over 16,000 feet. Let me show you some gear that I won't be bringing on this trip. We're not going to go with the ice axe, the crampons, because we're on the equator. It will get below freezing, but we won't need crampons. I will not need this 40-liter pack, nor this 90-liter Osprey. So what we're gonna bring is a kind of a unique combination of past trips and a little bit of new stuff, so I'll point it out. This will be new. This will be a 30-liter North Face. Notice it has multiple compartments, so we can divide up equipment, and we'll also have water on the sides. Now that will just be for summit day. I have the big boy over here, which will carry all the stuff that I'm about to review. I will note what's going in the expedition bag, which is that North Face black, huge 120 liter, or the summit bag. So my dry bag here will be going in the summit bag and will be going in the expedition bag. I'll use it for both. That's where my clothes will go in. We'll put, because of the extreme wet weather we're going to be exposed to on the equator, all the way around the world in Indonesia, we will be using a lot of plastic. I know your environmentalists might not like this, but we need to use some plastic and some dry bags to secure all of our gear. For sleeping, we'll use the base pad. We'll be up at 14,000 feet, our high camp and base. I'll also use this inflatable extreme pad that's just super duper. Use that on Denali. Of course, a down bag and a stuff sack. Same one from Denali at 14,000 feet, even on the equator. It will be chilly, so I want to be extra warm and prepared, because when you get cold, I had an experienced climber of the 7 summits tell me that Carsten was one of his coldest and most difficult weather-wise because of the extreme wet and then chilly conditions on top. I'll be bringing 3 buffs. These go around your face and or forehead or both to keep you warm. I will be bringing multiple 1 cap, 2 caps, the baseball cap, a face gaiter, and maybe even a neck huggy. I'll bring that in the expedition bag just to see what the weather's going to bring us. I want to be over prepared. If things get wet, I want to strip them off and put on a dry one. So we will bring extra. And of course the hat, my Peruvian Huascaran hat that you saw me in the beginning, will go on every climb. These are interesting. They're 5-gallon water buckets, plastic, and I use them for training. You fill them up, and I put them in this training pack, and for the last month plus, I've been hiking up at 9,250 to 14,000 feet, and carrying the water. I get to the summit, then I take off the spout and dump it, so don't stress my joints on the way down. Training and body cleanse has been going on for over a month, and it's been real good, feeling great, and feeling ready to leave next week for Indonesia. Okay, let's continue on. Lots of new stuff here. Not new, but I'm going to bring the poles. Don't know if I'll be using them much. Of course, a hard hat. We're going to be doing a lot of rock climbing on this one. This is the most technical rock that will be on in all the 7 summits. Carsten has just this 2,000-foot sheer face, and we'll be climbing that. Harnesses, locking carabiners, and just extra rope. Actually, that all went with me on Denali, so that's not new, but it will get a lot of use in a different way. Gloves. I'm choosing 3 gloves. I have a 60-second glove, I have a leather work glove, and then a brand new OR. These are super cool. They've got like a gel in the palm. They're waterproof, supposedly completely waterproof, and I'll tell you at the end of the trip how waterproof they are, but they're supposed to be right there at the top of the food chain as far as gloves. I mark my bag that I'm traveling with a red bandana so I can identify it coming out of the chute, and of course name tag. I'll bring a down jacket, and the down jacket will be a backup in my backpack for when we take breaks. I'll bring a windbreaker right here. The windbreaker is just going to be in my pack for backup. I have 2 non-permeable plastic ponchos in case things get super nasty. I always carry those in wet weather just to prevent against any major problems. On well, let's go to water consumption. Water consumption is going to be these bottles. Excuse me, I had to turn down Alexa a little bit. Water bottles, and I'll bring my freeze exterior container. Don't know if I'll use them, but I'll bring them. 2 pair of pants in case one gets wet, and then an underlayer, waterproof Patagonia shell, and these are basically just fleece extras for camp. Or if my underlayer gets wet, I could use them as a substitute. The only new one is that Patagonia base that I have. And the Patagonia base is, Patagonia shell, excuse me, is extra waterproof. Socks. We have 4 pair of socks. And then stockings. I wear a stocking underlayer for the boots just to prevent any friction. So I'll wear the stockings every day and then over thick sock. 3 short sleeve base layers. Typical protocol for mountains. Then, of course, my favorite layer, the hoodied long sleeve. Gotta have that. And then I'm packing a backup layer. Not sure if I'm going to use this one. Long sleeve, North Face. And then I have 2 icebreaker layers. I have one at 320 and a 220. They'll be my base. So I'll be climbing in a combination of all these, depending on temperature, taking them off and on, and then using the down when we take breaks. Under the flags, the summit flags, I have a collection of gear. Of course, for Indonesia, we'll need a passport. And I bring a journal for all my activities, and we'll be doing live podcast at peakspodcast.rocks. Just .rocks. Peakspodcast.rocks will be our website, vlog site, and podcast site. Up and running, and we'll be going live from the mountain, have recordings that we will put up on the website. Let's go through this gear individually. Anybody know what that is? We're not drinking out of that. That's the pee bag that will come up and alleviate going out of the tent. Suntan lotion, obviously a must at the 16,000+ feet. Inside there, you might be able to, that's all my electronics, and we'll have a socket converter for charging before we head up the mountain. Unlike Denali, where it was light all night, we will bring a headlamp for climbing. Toiletries, DOP kit, critical. DOP kits, all the personals. Shot blocks for snacks, Cliff Bar. We also have our hydration, nuns, and vitamin packs. I bring emergency and ample supply of vitamins. Winding down here, we'll bring bug stuff for the jungle and a carrying case for my cell phone. Very important, it doesn't, we protect that going up. Wet, water, heat, cold. That bag does it all. This is very important. That's my utensils inside of my dining kit. I used that over the last 20 years, and it will continue to be used on this trip. This is for hotties. We'll put our coffee, hot chocolate in there, carrying it with us for the first part of the day, keep us warm. And then, of course, my solar charging panel. I love this Goal Zero. These guys got it nutted. I will use that every day. Glasses, critical. I'm going to pack the goggles. Not sure if I'm going to be using them. Probably a low chance. I'll definitely be using my glacier glasses or my sunglasses throughout the trip. Notice they have the croquis. You got to have those when you flip them on and off on the mountain so you don't lose them. Very critical to have that at the high elevation. And then I will put all this and package everything in plastic, including the clothes, not the hardware, but anything fabric or on this table will be waterproofed for the journey to Papua and Carstens Peak. Carsten is going to be quite interesting because basically foreigners are not welcome by the native people. Recently, we have been told, and there are reports of huge uprisings within the indigenous tribal people. As a matter of fact, a few weeks ago, they were no longer issuing permits to climb Carstens. This was super concerning because I'd already bought the plane ticket and paid for the expedition, non-refundable. So we're quite glad that permits are now being issued, but we're going to be very cautious of the environment there. The natives have been known to kill each other, and it's for real. It's a problem. So we will have all this gear. We will be discreet in our movements and respectful of the local tribes. And God willing, we will have a successful trip heading out next week. Please remember, peakspodcast.rocks will be your source of information. You can listen to podcasts at my website, and you'll get firsthand video and photos of our expedition. We're really looking forward to this, it will be a different climb than the great one a couple months ago. So I believe we're completely prepared, and we'll look forward to you joining us on podcasts and at my website, peakspodcast.rocks. Have a great day. Take care.